So it does pay sometimes, if you need to buy wood. Log form, rounds, whatever you can do. Yes, better if it's free. We all love free wood. We all love free wood. But sometimes... And welcome back to another episode of Travis Does Firewood. One of the last installments of different ways to split firewood. The splitter. So I've been having so much fun making episodes on different ways how to split firewood and finding unique tools, methods to split that I forgot the obvious. The gas-powered hydraulic splitter. You've seen this action before if you watch my channel and you are a subscriber, but I decided, I just popped in my mind like, hey, I need to round out this series, and we're gonna fire up the champion now in a minute. Good timing, because I have been slowly but surely, when I've had a minute, whittling away at this 2-cord load by hand. I'm using old red and the Fiskars axes. This is what I've done thus far. This is more or less usually average 1 hit per piece. So these are either going to be bundle wood or regular rack wood. I've hauled off to the stacking pile that you saw in the previous video here. I'll probably get, like I mentioned before, probably one face cord or one third of a cord of a bonfire wood. So which is, it is what it is. I don't mean to complain a lot. I don't but I guess I need to be less complainy and more worky. Right? I think people want maybe less commentary and more action, which is fine. So we are going to continue on. This is, like I said, this is what I've done thus far. This is the stuff to my right, your left, that needs to be weeded through, either to be tossed in the okay pile or split once, maybe twice, and we'll do that with the champion in a second. So but first, let me show you something real quick. So I got 2 orders today of wood that's going to be picked up, which is fine. One person should be coming here in 1 moment. So hopefully I can just this clip real quick. He wants to be outside this weekend. It's going to be nice. Right now it's like 55, 60, sunny day. This is early February. Welcome to February, folks. And it's nice right now in the Pacific Northwest. This is great. But anyway, he wants to drink beer this weekend outside and have a fire. So he ordered 2 bonfire racks. And then just now I texted him saying, hey, your wood's ready. So then he ordered 1 more. So this is, each rack is $30. He bought 3. Do the math. and then my sauna guy messaged me saying, hey, I'm out of hardwood maple. I'm out of premium grade. I need some more. Hit me. So I got his order here, all ready to go. So and then the guy who is buying the three racks. He's gonna round up to $100. So I think I'm gonna sell him 2 $5 kindling bundles, so he can start these Mamma Jamma pieces of wood here. So that right there is a $150 sale in that amount of wood. See there? That's not too much wood, and that's why I sell in lesser quantity, not quality. I think someone mentioned in the comments of the previous video, if you want the quality of wood, the standards that you want, you're gonna have to split it yourself, Travis. And I'm beginning to agree that that's the case. But that sale, that amount of wood, you saw it in terms of like how many pieces and like the physical volume, right? And you have this. This is less now than 2 cords because I've hauled some away and stacked it. And this delivered was $200. That's so as I'm editing or thinking about that, what I just said, incorrect. I did the math wrong. That entire 2-cord load was $400. Wood and delivery, and what I sold would be a little more than a fourth of the total cost that I just bought. So scratch what I just said. Incorrect. This is going to be like a little blip in the corner chatting idea. So if you're following along, what I just said was incorrect. But it does make a dent in what I purchased to be able to kind of recoup or to gain, to kind of pay that that load off. So then anything outside of that would be the profit, if you want to think about that. But just, I guess, for that example, to compare the amount of volume of wood that I just received, that I just purchased, versus what I just sold, it's a moneymaker by selling smaller quantities of firewood. So it does pay sometimes, if you need to buy wood, log form, rounds, whatever you can do. Yes, better if it's free. We all love free wood. We all love free wood. But sometimes, in terms of you need inventory, you don't have time, whatever the case may be, if it's a good price and you know that you can flip it, you can resell it, still make a profit, do it. I'm now sold. I was hesitant on doing this, and then I pulled the trigger, and I'm glad I did, because that sale up there, I mean, you can't go wrong. So enough yapping, let's turn on the champion here. splitting, let's get down to some chatting. So this is a 27-ton Champion bought from a big box store. You probably know the one. This is a few years old. Right before they got super popular. The story goes, I was at a small engine repair shop, and I asked the guy if I was to buy a wood splitter, where would I go? What kind would I buy? And he said, I really like the Champions. So I looked into them. They were outside of my price point at the time, but on Marketplace I found a bitty, like, I don't know, 10 ton, 17 ton, that like you rolled it on the ground and you had to bend over. I bought that one used off of someone who bought it brand new on Amazon. So it didn't have any fluids in it. He put it together and it wouldn't run. So he, instead of calling Amazon, he called Champion and said this is not working. So they sent him a brand new motor. By the time the motor got to him, he had figured out the problem, whether it was in the opposition, or he had no spark plug, or it was something silly, or the gas toggle was on the off position. Anyway, it was something super ridiculous. So I think he let Champion know that he didn't need it and they didn't want it back, or anyway. But he quickly realized that after he got it going, he quickly realized that it was too small. It was too small for his needs. So he sold it, I bought it, and then I quickly figured out that it was too small for my needs. I was using big rounds in them, not noodling up prior, and it got stuck left and right. So about that time, my parents had a few trees dropped, and if you do the math, and I need to do the math on that. Maybe I'll do that later in this video. Do the math of, you have a job, you have trees, or you have some browns, and you're going to a place and you're gonna rent a splitter. You're gonna rent one. Well, the thought process of my parents was, or at least my dad was, well, I'm gonna have it. I don't want to be in a rush to finish the job in one day. I want to take my time, or because I'm older and whatever. I don't want to work like a crazy person the whole day just to get this, my money's worth out of this thing, and then return it and not have it be a 2-day thing. So he did the math in his head and figured out, well, I just might as well buy one. So he bought this, and then I have used it more than he. And then he basically he gave it to me with the knowledge of, if he ever needed it, he would just say, hey, Trav, I need to borrow the splitter, and that's not a big deal. So it's been on my mission for a while now. I need to do some maintenance on it, but that's how I came to be how I got the splitter. So it has worked well for me. I know a lot of you out there have the same one or very similar. And I think a lot of us have figured out, or the theory that there's like one of 5 companies who make splitters, and they slap different colors and different other labels and brands, but it's pretty much all the same thing. So and there's those that don't are kind of wary of if it's like a 15 ton or 25 ton or 27 or 37, how that equates to power and ram speed. You can do your own research, have your own opinion, but all I know is this machine, this workhorse, has split everything that I have put in front of it. The big rounds on here, splitting them in half, and it has not gotten stuck. It does slow down a little bit in the ramming speed, but definitely has not gotten stuck. So I moved the camera and realized I had my gloves on in that last clip. I don't know why I had my gloves on. That was weird, wasn't it? Anywho, this splitter is cool because you can use it in the horizontal position, and you can also, there's a pin right here, take it out, the handle, and this can go vertical. Now, a lot of time when I was first using this, I spent a lot of time sitting down, bent over, and using it vertically. I think that there is a time and a place to use these type of splitters vertically, especially if you have big rounds and you're able to manhandle them into position and put them under here and get them at least split into quarters. Then you can flip it back up and use it horizontal, so you're not bending over, having to sit down, or I've seen people who use their splitter vertically, and they're literally on their knees. I can't imagine doing this type of work on your knees like that. So I mean, to each their own. It is what it is. But if it works for you, it works for you. There's zero judgment. But I do like this, how this machine does go up and down, and a lot of splitters like it have the same feature. And I forgot my hat, and I have my hat. So where were we? Yes. So if you see me and I'm on the machine, I'm constantly on this lever. Now this has an auto return, where if you let it go or hit it into the reverse back position, it'll go automatically, which is a great feature. A lot of the older models of these splitters don't have that, and it is nice. I think this has I think between a 9 and 11 second cycle time. I think I have it in the previous video when I did the 4-way wedge one. I'll link that here. But I'm always on this because I don't want the ram to go all the way back. My pieces aren't whatever length this is. This is way more than 16. This is going to be like into like the 2 feet range between the bottom plate and this plate here, that will help you if a piece is stuck. This wedge will go past this point and help to push the round or piece of wood off of the wedge. Now I'm on this because I don't want this wedge to go all the way back into here. I want it closer to the piece of wood that will be in here. So I stop it. So I bring in the piece. The piece is going to be here, and then I can split again. And I have to wait for this to go all the way from here, all the way to the piece, split, and then it goes all the way back. No, to stop this wedge, this ram from going all the way back, having it be in here, so you can come in, put in one more piece, and keep going. Alright, so I don't want this to be like a review. I just want to go over some of the features on a splitter, and how it's used as a tool. I believe this would be one of the 2 main ways that people split wood. It's either with a splitter, whatever type of splitter you have. It could be homemade, it could be from a box store, it could be one of those fancy professional ones with the log lift and the different wedges that you can put on the ram, whatever it is. But the splitters, and it could be gas powered and it could be electric. I kind of wish now I had an electric one, but I don't. I was gonna buy one for this series, but then I don't know for anyway. I digress. So the other way is using an axe. I mean, the old school way, right? So back to what I was trying to say. If you see me and I'm splitting wood, I will take the piece of wood and I put it in right where I split like a little bit of the wood. I'll split it and I'll keep it with me, and then I'll go a little bit more further in, split again, and probably flip it on end and do it one more time. So that way I'm not spending time tossing the piece as I split. It's all kind of together, so that when I'm done, to grab all the pieces that are split together, lift it up, and then toss it to the pile, or stack it, or put it in the wheelbarrow. I like, when I split, I like to cut pieces not like the triangle shape. I like to cut pieces here. Let me show you. I like splitting pieces that look more or less like a triangle or a square. This is a perfect size piece for a firewood bundle. And even if it wasn't a firewood bundle, it's still the size of wood that I would probably more or less split for my personal use, because it will dry fast. I don't mind having to haul in these pieces or to fill my wood stove with smaller pieces, because it doesn't bother me. I think a lot of people think, well, that's too small. This is the wood size I would like. What is what it is. I mean, like you split wood how you want to split wood. It should not bother other people if it's not how you like to split it anyway. So this how I split my wood and the size. So a lot of these trailers, at least from the ones that are sold at the big box store, come with a tongue hitch. So in theory, you can tow this behind your vehicle, and they have chains. It says here to go a maximum of 45 miles per hour. If you do tow it, I wouldn't tow this with my truck. I would put it in a trailer if I needed to transport it and move it that way. It's just too much to get broken, and that when you're trying to back up, you're not going to see this when you back up. This thing is way too small. So it's going to jackknife, and it's going to be difficult. So when you have a splitter like this, what terrain or environment that you're working it in, and you have this tongue hitch, it's good to get one of these dollies. I think these are like $50 or whatever from Harbor Freight. It just lowers onto the ball, you collapse it, and then you use this to move it around. It's definitely super handy, and I recommend it if you have a splitter like this one. Or if you need to move it, just manhandle it. It's doable. It's nice having the bigger wheels. Can you see the wheels? Right? Yeah. I mean, they're not like car-size wheels, but they're not like they're road-worthy. But I think having like the regular car-size tires on one of these would be nice to be able to wheel around more, especially when you have like an uneven terrain or rocks, or you're going over like small pieces of bark. This thing will trip over any small little speck of whatnot. So it's nice having those wheels. So let's split some more. splitting vertically has its benefits. I think it is obvious there. Those big rounds, this split does not have a log lift, so you're gonna manhandle. You're going to like beast mode. That big round on top of the splitter and split it when it's in the horizontal position. I don't know, and then it beats having to break out the maul or the other axe or the chainsaw to noodle up the big rounds. I have found it takes 2 seconds to unpin or pin and pivot this up into vertical, and then to put it in position and split. So I like to do them in halves and then quarter it, and then do my blocks up splitting that way. You just saw that. One thing that I have to warn you, especially in the vertical position, is watch where your fingers are at all times. You don't want them anywhere near the blade, even though this is not going very fast, but still you don't want this to be in the way of your fingers, as well as you don't want your hand between the wood and the back plate or the I-beam of the splitter. I've gotten my hand pinched as the wedge came down. The piece of wood moved and had pinched my finger between the metal back plate here and the wood. I linked the episode up here. That's been a while ago, so the quality isn't very good, but you get the gist. Yeah, so that's vertical. All right, so quick interjection. I just had someone stop by and drop something off. I think I mentioned before in previous videos that I have ads up to a giveaway bark that I have. As you split wood, bark falls off, and what do you do with it? Is this scrap piece, and you can burn it in your own wood stove. You can burn it outside. Sometimes it doesn't smell very good. It doesn't burn very well. Some use it for kindling. I don't know. So I had this ad up, and the person contacted me and asked me if I had any cedar bark, and I have plenty of cedar. So they've contacted me a few times, coming only for cedar bark, and they were telling me that he uses it to make birdhouses. So I think that's pretty cool. I mean, to kind of like reuse, recycle. And this time around, they brought me a birdhouse. They brought me actually two. So the guy uses the cedar bark for the roof of the birdhouses, and each birdhouse is unique and different. This one is 2-story here, and this is the other one they gave me. This is a single-story birdhouse, and this is the bark that I give them or him to make, and he's very creative. They go to bazaars and farmers markets and sell these between like $20 and $40, I think, just as a side hustle or hobby to stay out of trouble, whatever. But I'm glad that my energy of collecting and storing the bark is being put to good use. I will continue to save my cedar bark for him. Apparently he likes it when the bark isn't dry. He likes it to be moist or wet, so he can kind of mold and shape the bark before it will snap or break. So the better the better, which is good to know. But I just wanted to share this with you, that I got not one but two birdhouses from someone that I gave a bark to. So pretty cool. So let me continue this video to wrap it up. If I had a choice, I would definitely upgrade, but I guess it depends on pocketbook and how much wood this bad boy can split for us. There's a lot of people, like I said before, this is all they have, and they split hundreds of cords a year, and it works for them, or they just power through it because that's all they can afford. If I had a choice, I think the Easton Made Ultra, the one that you see on the YouTube channel called in the Woodyard with Chris. I like that one. You can put in a single wedge or 4-way. I think it's up to 6, maybe 8 in that, and that seems to have enough power to push big rounds through. That one doesn't have a log lift, so he has to noodle or to cut his big rounds before he puts it on. But I like it that when it exits the splitter, that there's a tray at the end so the wood can kind of sit and chill. One I do like too is the Easton Made axis, the one that you see at the YouTube channel Ohio Wood Burner with Joe. That one is a vertical one, and you stand up to it. That one has a log lift, and you stand up to it and use your foot to control the wedge. That's a single wedge, and then off to your left, I think there's an option having a conveyor to go in a truck or a trailer or a tote or whatever. So that one's nice when you have big rounds and you don't want to you want to stand and in that crouch. And that one you can control kind of like I do with my Champion. You control kind of the size and the shape of the splits very well. Whereas with a four-way wedge, you really can't. You have less control over the shape and size. Now, if I got into logs, which is an option, but I don't think I have the space for it in my current wood yard, I would definitely go with the Japa 365 Plus Pro. That is also seen at Ohio Wood Burner and Backyard 40 channel. I think that one has enough power to go through logs, and that one has I forget what they call it. It's where you have a round. The log would drop from being cut, and then it goes down into, I guess, a little hopper thing, and it will split once and then retract back and split again, and the log will go lower as more of the meat is taken away from it, and that seems to have enough power, and that's from log to pieces like this in the matter of seconds. It's an awesome machine. There's something similar that Dan at Backyard 40 has that is an Eastern Maine. It goes from, there's a log lift and it goes into the processor, and it has the same back and forth motion. But if you see what Dan throws at that machine, his Easton Made, I forget the name of it, the model, but it seems to struggle a lot to get through wood, where the Japa just busts through it like not a problem. And Joe has put elm in that thing, and it did not hesitate at all. I think that would be a good machine if I got a little bigger. But those are just my 2 cents on machines or brands that I would like to see. So to wrap up this video on splitters, I hope it was informative. I do like kinetic splitters too, so that would be maybe an next episode on the series of different ways to split wood. But I definitely like my Champion. I like splitting wood, yeah, I think I need with these things. There's definitely maintenance that need to be on it, because they're worth their weight in gold and to save your body and to be efficient with time. But the maintenance, having to make sure that there's gas in it, and to change the oil frequently, as well as the hydraulic fluid or oil. Yeah, to keep these things in check and maintenance is the thing. But if you're a little handy, do that, as well as make sure that you tighten up all the nuts and bolts down, because there's so much torque and vibration in this thing that some of those bolts just kind of like rattle themselves loose and they go missing, and you're not going to find them in your wood yard. So it'd be good once in a while to take a ratchet, socket set, and kind of tighten up all those down. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Stay safe, and keep cutting, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.